Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Takedownman coming back at you with another episode. And on this episode, guys, we are going to talk about your questions. I'm going to answer all your questions today that you guys have sent me. Um, and yeah, I've got the YouTube thing up now showing all the questions and whatnot. And we're just going to go down the line. If there's any background noise or anything like that, I apologize. As I have people coming in and out, and of course I'm outside, so if cars come by, then that's what it is. My voice goes out a little bit at times. It's because I'm actually really sick and I'm on antibiotics and all kinds of crazy crap that's making me sweat profusely and look like shit. So there we go. And yes, I'm smoking. For all you guys who hate me smoking, I'm smoking because this is going to be a long video. So let's go ahead and get down to it. Alright, so now we got Patrick Davis here asking, what songs are you using for your intro? I've heard it before, but I can't think of the name. Great and informative videos, by the way. We actually live close to each other, too. Might have to get together for a collab. Good shit, bro. Alright, so the song on my intro, I really don't know. If you look up in the description, I actually have a link going to the person who made it. So if you want to know who did it, feel free to ask him because he probably knows better than me because he put it together for me. So that's pretty much it. As far as doing collabs and stuff, I have no problem with doing collaborations with people. However, I am moving to Florida next week. So actually to be on next Friday. So yeah, you guys, if you're interested, hit me up before then. If you want to hook up in Tennessee or whatever. Also, let's see here. What got you started into making the deep web videos? What do you like or fear about it overall? I like the freedom of information. I like the fact that if I'm in a country to where there's a lot of problems with being able to talk about political factions and so forth, they won't actually come after me for it because they don't know that I'm on it. So that's what I like about it. Alright, so let's go down here. Of course. There we go. The scrolling's messing up every now and then. Alright, somebody put can't wait. Well, it's here, guy. So there you go. Opinions on 8chan. Shit. 8chan is kind of good and bad at the same time because there's a lot of cool shit on 8chan, but then there's a lot of really fucked up shit on 8chan. And I'm not talking about like 4chan's B forum. The problem with 8chan is they do have some pedo forums or pedo chans, and I'm really not cool with that shit. If they got that shit out of there, get off the harassing people shit, you're good to go. I have no problem with 8chan. I actually like 8chan. Alright, next one. What's your favorite website on the deep web? And what's your favorite ice cream? The ice cream is Rocky Road. My favorite forum or favorite site is a forum, and it's Intel Exchange. So that's an easy one. All right, what's your favorite genre of music and favorite band? It would have to be rap, and band is more like artist. His name is Brother Ali. You can look him up on YouTube. He's got a lot of stuff. He's actually a legally blind rapper who also happens to be albino, but he talks about the realest shit you can find out there. Alright, is there anything on the deep web that isn't totally fucked up? If so, why isn't it on the regular web? There's a lot of stuff on the deep web that's not actually fucked up. And the reason why they don't put it on the regular web or surface web is mainly because they like the anonymity. And a lot of their users like the anonymity. They like the fact that their IPs aren't tracked. They like the fact that they have privacy. And in countries to where it's not actually allowed, it actually is a big help. It really is. Like in China, you can't use a lot of the social networks, but they can on with Tor, and that's what I like about it. I also like that there's a lot of real news on there. A lot of news that most people don't have access to on the surface web. On the surface web, a lot of times it would get taken down. It does on the deep web. It gets taken down all the time. So that's why I like it. Alright, let's see here. When did you first start to surf the deep web? Whenever I was about 14, we had to use the IP addresses to get to them. It wasn't like it is now to where you have Tor and stuff like that that you can download. If they did back then, I didn't know anything about it. But yeah, I've always used the like the IP addresses and so on to find everything. So, all right, next question. You come out if you want, man. I'm recording, so whatever. All right, it says I'm 14 and too pussy to go on the deep web, but I'm always too curious to find out what it's all about. So it took some time to find a channel like this, but I'm happy I have because now I know it's just not worth going on. You're a good guy. Well, thank you very much for that, and the fact that you're under 18 does say that you don't need to be on there. It's it is a great place to be as long as you know what you're looking for and how to find it. There are people who are over 18 that have no business on the deep web. It's just that simple. You don't just go clicking links and exploring all the bullshit without, having to pay for it. So a lot of times, until you actually are more knowledgeable about the deep web, it's best that you stay off of it. And if you're under 18, it's really best that you stay off of it. And I appreciate, the sentiment and saying I'm a good guy. All right, here we go. Would you ever buy something off the deep web? The only thing I've ever bought off the deep web is Bitcoins. That's really it, guys. That's all I've ever bought off the deep web is Bitcoin. So I haven't ever bought drugs, weapons, or anything like that. So for the ones who always ask me about that, I have no idea. I think you could probably get screwed very easily by doing that. All right, good work, fella. Curious to hear your thoughts on this link. And let's see here. Oh, yeah, voted to move change to officials Secrets Act over CSA. All right, I'll actually have to go back to that one because I'll have to do that one in another video or just answer it in person because I don't have time right now to be looking up other websites. All right. Did you hurt someone really bad one time in your life? I've hurt people really bad a few times in my life, and a few of them have not gotten up to tell the tale. Even just here recently, about 3-4 months ago, I had a fan meetup thing, and somebody showed up that wanted to really start some shit with me, and it got a little violent. Ended up beating them pretty bad with my cane, and then 2 of my buddies actually beat the shit out of them. So, yeah, I've hurt someone really bad at least one time in my life. Also, the fact that I used to be a gang member doesn't help either. All right, so how to download videos safe from the deep web. Somebody already answered it. You can't. There really is no telling whenever you download from the deep web if something's going to have viruses on it or not. The only way that you can really tell is if it's from someone you know, and a lot of times it's not. So, and sadly, they could also have downloaded something with a virus on it too. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Next question. Hey, man, I'm an absolute noob to your channel, and I dig what I've seen so far. My question, since you have a large amount of videos, it's pretty hard for me to at least to find one where you might actually talked or you didn't about proper steps to take if someone wants to go under and how to do it. So that one can learn other steps in that direction. Thanks and respect. All right, well, the biggest rules are make sure your JavaScript's off. I turn off everything in the options panel. Also, no downloading of anything because, once again, it could have viruses. And be over 18 and don't just click anything. If you don't know what it is, chances are it might be something bad, so do a little research on the link before you click it. That's my advice. That's the best thing I can offer you there. All right. So, next question here. Hey, Takedownman, thank you for making my favor come true. I just want to ask you, have you ever got weird threats because you surf deep web? Like weird threats like taking down your computer with a disturbing video on, etc. My last question, please tell me, is there any level in the deep web? I heard that there's level 6 through 8, is when those people connect to internet without any internet connection and stuff. I would be really happy if you reply. Thanks, man. You're awesome. All right. Boy, that's a multi-level question. And if I fuck up on some of the words, I already know I fucked up on some of the words. So y'all ain't got to tell me in the fucking comments that I fucked up on some words. I know I did. I can barely fucking see them. And I'm trying to read this without a screen reader. So, yeah, not very fun. All right, so I'll go and answer your questions real quick, though. No, I have never gotten anything weird because I surfed the deep web. A lot of people have threatened me, but nobody's ever backed it up. The last couple of people who tried, it didn't turn out well for them. Let's see here. As far as the levels in the deep web, it's bullshit. It's something somebody invented on 4chan to say that there was this and that different level and Mariana's Web and so forth. None of that actually exists. The biggest thing is it's all, but below the surface web is just deep web. And the deep web isn't all just mysterious shit either. Sometimes the deep web is just honestly things that aren't indexed by Google. You have parts on Facebook, Twitter, and so forth that are on the deep web. You have companies that their private info is considered deep web. It just tells the spiders you can't search here. And the rest of the deep web is stuff that Google says we're not going to index. So that's really what the deep web is. So sorry to burst some of your bubbles. It's not all exciting like you think it is. All right, what made you make YouTube videos about the deep web? The fact that I made one day, it got like 30,000 hits in 2 days. And I said, holy shit, this might be something. And as people were coming on and subscribing, they were like, more deep web, more deep web. So that's how it started. I had no intention of making deep web videos, to be honest with you. It just worked out that way. Oh, golly. I'm already getting tired. Now I ain't even halfway through. Takedownman. Do you feel that you've become desensitized from all the horrific things you have heard and seen? I feel that I have, and quite possibly like everyone else here whom is interested in taboo content like this, continue to seek out material like this, perhaps because it makes for stronger mentality. Don't mistake me for someone who agrees with the majority of the inhumane things. And yes, that's my little yellow thing for my mouse. All right, dude, I don't have time to read all this. However, I will just tell you, no, that didn't desensitize me. I was desensitized long before this. So, yeah. And sorry I can't read that whole question, but yeah, time is kind of the essence here, and I don't want to make a 3-hour video, so. All right. You watch sports. Favorite teams? Don't really watch a whole lot of sports, but when I do, I go with Saints. New Orleans all the way, baby. All right. Are you voting for Hillary or Ron Paul in 2016? Fuck no. Because Rand Paul is probably not going to make it up there. And Donald Trump is also running, so I'm probably going to go with Donald Trump. Because he's a businessman and he knows how to get the money back into this country. Fuck the dumb shit. That's just how it works. I want money. I'm sure y'all want money. That's just how it is. You put Hillary up in the fucking office, you're going to be broke. You're going to stay broke if you're already broke, and if you aren't broke, you might be by the time it's over with. Rand Paul, I really like how he's a lot like his father. I like the fact that he legalized weed everywhere. The problem is it's not very realistic he would get voted in. I think Donald Trump honestly has more of a chance than he does. So, all right, next one. What is the name of the man who owned Terra the Android? And somebody answered, I read somewhere, John Bergeron. That is true. All right. For Q&A, why did you name yourself Takedownman? Actually, it was a name that I had whenever I was doing MMA. And we used to put our MMA videos up on this channel, actually, till YouTube flagged and removed them all because, yeah, we had too much blood. And apparently they changed their terms of service. And once their terms of service got changed to where you couldn't have anything gory, apparently, whenever I hit somebody in the nose, their nose would break and blood would go everywhere. That's apparently gory to them. I don't know why, because there's worse shit on here. But that's actually, I got the name Takedownman because he used to take down people and beat the shit out of them on YouTube. Can't do that anymore. Alright. Love the vids, man. Oh, thank you very much. Love my fans. How long do you reckon you will keep doing YouTube for? For as long as the money's coming in and as long as YouTube's up, I will keep doing YouTube. Whenever there's no more money and YouTube is down, I will do something else. I like being in the limelight, and I kind of appreciate the money that comes in with it. So, yeah. Alright, so, next question. I don't know why I couldn't see the comments on my Android. My question is, what do you think about the deep web being used in schools? Of course, not the CP sites or red rooms, for educational use. No, hell no, no. For the simple facts of, how do I say this without being mean, but I guess I really can't. Teachers aren't smart enough to teach the deep web in most cases. Teachers are idiots. I mean, they really are. They might fuck around and lead somebody to a red room. And the worst part is teaching little kids how to access the deep web could, because, teenagers, you guys are a little fucking crazy nowadays. I mean, ain't nothing personal. I love you guys to death, but there are too many kids shooting up schools and blowing shit up nowadays. The deep web is the last thing you need to teach them how to fucking use to buy shit like that. Because even if you're not teaching them stuff like that, eventually that's what it will lead to. Alright, I gotta get a drink. Ooh, I'm sweating so bad because it is medication. Alright. What is the worst and best thing you have seen on the deep web? Love your videos. First off, thank you for loving my videos. Next up, the best thing I've ever seen on the deep web, Intel Exchange, is badass. It's not always hopping, but for the most part it is. The worst thing I've ever seen on the deep web was this one place a long time ago called Confessions of a Serial Killer. It was a guy who literally wanted to become a serial killer but share his story with everybody. And he would actually post pictures of what he was doing, videos of what he was doing. And it made the movie Hostel and Saw look like a bitch. So yeah, that was like the worst thing I've ever seen. But that was whenever I was like, 16 or 17? So yeah. Alright, so Hope Faith. Alright. What gave you the inspiration to make deep web videos? The fact that everybody on YouTube loved them. And like I said, I never had any intention on doing it. So yeah. Have you had any problem with the deep web, like Trojan viruses, etc.? Surprisingly not, but then again, I don't download stuff unless if I actually know who the person is. Which is also why I don't do I2P and Freenet. Because if I get people doing I2P and Freenet, there's a very good chance they're going to get viruses and they're going to get hacked. And I really don't want that happening to anybody, so yeah. Do you think you would ever make it this far with 24,000 subscribers? I'm actually right along the line of 27 subscribers. I got 1,000 yesterday and a little over 1,000 today. However, though, I honestly never thought I would make it this far. I thought I'd only get, a couple thousand subscribers, and that would be that. And here I am, fitting to hit 27,000 subscribers, so it is pretty freaking awesome. Thank you. Alright, so the next one. I'm new to your channel, and I just recently learned about Daisy's destruction. What a nightmare. But I'm curious if you're a video about Dafu Love. If you mean I've heard of the video, yeah, I've heard of Dafu Love. It is produced by the same company, No Limits Fun, as Daisy's Destruction. Not to be confused with Greenball, which is actually a kind of like made-up story. I guess they call it creepypasta or whatever. That's actually what Greenball is. But Dafu Love, the pictures that they show for it with the kid sitting there with the circle around him with the black face thing, that's not Dafu Love. Dafu Love is another CP thing and so on. And I only discovered that just because of the research that I did on Daisy's Destruction for that one video. I found out that they also did Dafu Love and a lot of other fucked up titles over the years that, are pretty fucked up. And I hope they torture that dude. Just a suggestion, Philippines, if you are watching my shit, get your president or whoever to watch me and to basically take my advice. I suggest every day for 20 minutes, you open up cuts on his feet and on his calves, and you let like 5, 6 rats loose on his ass. Just put it out there. Rats love that blood. And if you really want to make it bad, just smear a little peanut butter up in the cuts. Even better. All right. So that's my advice for you, Philippines, about Mr. Scully. He deserves so much torture before he ever dies. All right. Next question. Do you plan on streaming the deep web, or would you fear some viewer would try to DDoS you, or even worse? My first 150 videos were live streaming me on the deep web. So I've never actually been worried about that because I use a VPN, and you'll be DDoSing some dude in China for all I know. And you don't want to piss off them Chinese people because you already know them Chinese people fuck you up. Ain't you ever seen Bruce Lee, Jet Li, and all them Lees? I'm going to be climbing a wall on your ass. But yeah, that's pretty much what that is. I'm not actually worried about it. What's your view of John Snowden? You mean Edward Snowden? I don't know who John Snowden is. Talking about Edward Snowden, I actually think he's a fucking hero. He actually exposed a lot of corrupt bullshit that was going on in the government with the CIA and stuff that people were really fucking us up with. They were literally fucking us up behind closed doors. And he was like, hey, everybody, take a look at this shit. Look what's being done to you. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have known about a lot of shit. All right, same thing with Assange. Whenever he did WikiLeaks, we wouldn't have known about a lot of things had they not exposed it. So I actually think they're heroes. And I think it's really fucked up that they're making Snowden an international criminal for exposing criminal shit that our own government was doing to us. But I guess that's exactly why they see him as a criminal. So yeah, that's what it is. And I got somebody trying to get something behind here. So hold on real quick, guys. There. Oh, no problem. Tyler's already interrupted. So he's killed the quality of my video. But no. Alright, guys, so I'm back. Alright, here we go. Are you going to do videos on the disturbing, fucked up things on the surface web? I have actually done quite a few. And within the limits of the YouTube TOS, I can do more. Unfortunately, YouTube TOS, the terms of service, state that I can only go so far with it. So, alright, here we go. Next question. I came across your video after seeing this one true stories that have happened to people. This guy just reading them off Reddit. It's only 3 stories, but do you think watching any of them could be true? Okay, and the person actually put up the link for it. I actually couldn't tell you, truthfully. I mean, could the stories like they did, could it happen? Yes, they very well could. Somebody could hack your IP. Somebody could figure out who you are. Somebody could show up at your house. Drug dealers too. They can show up at your house, act like you're over here, and they go over there, and yeah, yeah. It was pretty. It could have been real, and then again, it may have just been made up. You never know on the deep web. All right. I would never dare go on any site like that. Even more so after watching that video, laugh out loud. But I'm a fan of yours, so thank you for all the info. You have a new fan here. That's awesome. Totally love having new fans. I love all my fans. I may not always be able to answer all y'all's questions and concerns and whatnot, but no, I do read over everything. It's just I don't have time a lot here lately to actually answer on everything. If it's something I've never answered before, then I would totally answer it. So a lot of times I don't have time to answer it just because I've answered it probably 1,000 times before. All right. Is copying someone else's words plagiarism? Because some guy says that I can't write down what he says about this. Okay. As far as plagiarism is concerned, it's whenever you take somebody else's work, at least I think it's if it's 80% or something, or more, and you use it and say it's your shit, not theirs. However, it's not plagiarism at all if you take the whole damn thing that they write, that they say, whatever, and you give them credit for doing it, writing it, or saying it. That is not plagiarism. However, you could still be, liable for copyright infringement if you try to make money off of somebody else's shit. If you're not making money, and if you say, if you give credit to the author or whoever did it, it's not plagiarism. Simple and plain. I don't know how I come into that one, but okay. All right, Takedownman. Ah, shit, I went up too high. There we go. Takedownman asked, what happened when you stumbled across a Red Room site? What do you do on an earlier video? You answered with contacting a hacktivism group, which is a great answer. My follow-up question is this. No naming required on which groups, but have you successfully managed to take down any deep websites? All right, for your first question, I can't actually legally answer that because every site has rights, even pedophile sites. Sadly, the FBI will protect them before they protect a drug dealer. That's just how it works. I hate that it's like that. I really fucking hate that it's like that. But unfortunately, I could get arrested if I'm like, yeah, I take down these sites. That's just how the law works. They have rights too. And attacking their website, be it for right or wrong reasons, it's fucked up, but that's how the world works. So, all right. Also, did you find yourself on the deep web? Did you just wonder one day, what the hell is this? Or were you told by a friend? Whenever I was 13, my friend's dad actually showed us the deep web. He showed us the deep web because he liked this little hacking site thing, and he went to MIT, and he really thought the world of hacking. He was hacking before there was like internet. He was actually hacking to get free phone calls. That's how long he had been hacking. That's originally where hacking evolved from, was people breaking into like the different phone companies and stuff and getting free phone calls and using it for different things for free. All right, let's see. Personally, I'm not interested in going on the deep web, but I find your videos interesting. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I'm happy that people do, to be honest. An activist and a damn role model is something I never thought I'd be. So there you go. All right. Einstein or Isaac Newton? Yeah, it's a stupid question. I would honestly think Einstein, just because of M theory. Newton, yeah, he got all the laws of physics and so forth, but we're finding like so much that he did was somewhat kind of right and somewhat kind of wrong. But if it wasn't for Newton, we wouldn't have had like a lot of discoveries that we have now. So shit, I'd still have to go with Einstein, just because I want to be able to travel kind of like they do on the show Sliders, and travel to different worlds, parallel Earths and so forth, different dimensions and so forth. And all of Einstein's work actually leads to that. So that's kind of why I love it. All right, here we go. Would you make a video about physics or something scientific? I sure would. What do you want to know? That's the biggest thing. I can talk about physics. I can talk about quantum physics. I can talk about quantum theory. I can talk all kinds of science all day long with people. I actually enjoy talking science. I enjoy talking tech. I even enjoy talking math. It's just a lot of times whenever I do videos like that, people are kind of like, dislike. He ain't done a dead web video, or he ain't ranting, so dislike that motherfucker. And then it ends up getting taken down. So if more people would like my videos that I do like that, I'd have no problem with that. And I promise you, probably a good 6 out of 10 times I'm going to be fucking wrong. I think on things so much that it is basically, my conclusions to things will probably never work, just because I don't have the training and so forth, which is why I'm on the deep web all the time and on things like Intel Exchange, because I want that knowledge. I want to be able to do different things and build different devices and really make a difference too at the same time while I'm doing it, but also learn a lot of really cool shit. All right, here we go. All right, next one. Can you make a science video like from the deep web? I sure can. Once again, I've actually been thinking about doing it and testing it out again. Last time I did it, people weren't really crazy about it. They wanted all the gore and like really just messed up shit. And I'm kind of tired of doing the gore, to be honest with you. Just to be real with you. And also, eventually, it's going to run out. It's fun scaring the shit out of you guys. Don't get me wrong. It's fun seeing, well, fuck it, I didn't need sleep anyways. But at the same time, I like to educate people. And yes, some of the fucked up sites need to be outed because the FBI tends to take them down a little quicker if they're out in the open. And people are talking about it. They're like, oh shit, we don't look like we're doing our job. We're so busy going after the free speech sites that, oh shit, maybe we better actually do our job so people don't get pissed off, and let's take this shit down. So yeah, I would love to do a science video. Alright, next question, guys. Alright, question. Will you discover the deep web, and who introduced it to you, or did you find out about it by yourself? I already answered that question. 13, and my friend's dad. Alright, now this is one I get all the time. Is the deep web illegal? Only browsing, not buying shit. Can the police find me or put me in jail? It really depends. They can put you in jail for downloading movies and music. So it's not so much what you have. It's not so much using Tor. It's more like what you do whenever you use Tor. If you use Tor and you're checking out things like the Intel Exchange, so long as you're not that stupid motherfucker on there going, how do I make a bomb so I can blow everybody up? Or how do I hack a drone? You're going to be okay. Don't participate in stupid shit like that. You'll be just fine. Don't participate in anything child porn. No jailbait. No, like terrorist shit. And, I mean, you can look at the terrorist shit, like all the beheading videos and shit. Why you'd want to, I don't know. But you could. And at the same time, as long as you don't do anything that's against the law in your country of origin, you have nothing to worry about anyways. So, yeah. Okay, let's go. Hey, Takedownman, I am 14 years old, and I was asking if it's normal to surf the deep web and that type of things. Is that not good for me or not? I watch your videos. It's very nice. Keep it up. Alright, I love that you watch my videos, which is cool. They're educational, they're informative, I hope. However, at 14, you need to stay the hell off the deep web. Wait at least until you're 18 or maybe even older. It just really depends on whenever you mature, so that's what it is. Well, I'm out here sweating like a whore in church with a psychic as the pastor. Alright, so, did you go blind in the army? No, I went legally blind after I had 4,000 pounds fall on me. I was bedridden for a year. My blood pressure went up sky high. I ended up getting something called hypertensive retinopathy, and it's grade 4, so it's irreversible. It did a lot of damage to my eyes. My eyesight's 20/3000, and I have 10% peripheral vision, which means I can see up close, kind of, but not really. So that's what that is. All right. This person here asks, what started to make you lose your faith? Humanity in general made me lose my faith. I've had some really, really fucked up shit happen to me from childhood all the way up. And it makes me question, because people always say, oh, well, God makes it to where it's meant for you to suffer. It's meant for you to suffer. Well, why would somebody who loves me want me to suffer so damn much? In my mind, this doesn't have to be for any of you, okay? But in my mind, it reminds me of an abusive father. If your father did all that shit to you that people claim God has done to people in the past and is letting them go through now, they would be taken away from God if God was their father. The state would take their ass. He would be seen as very abusive and very uncaring and very not around. So, yeah, I call God the absentee father. So, yeah. That's what made me lose my faith. Alright. My questions are, do you like anime? What's your favorite game console? Anime, it really depends on what it is. There's some things I like. Other things are just fucking annoying. The sounds and stuff, it really fucks with my ears and gives me headaches. So, not all of it, but some of it. I like the people's responses to anime better, like the Boku one that we see. That shit was funny. Alright, And what's my favorite game console is probably PS2 because that was where the original Grand Theft Auto San Andreas come out at. So yeah, it's pretty badass. All right. How'd you get into the deep web? 13. And Friend's father, because we've already talked about that one a few times. Not counting Tor, which web browser do you use most often? If I am on the deep web, I use Kali Linux. That's the best one. I love that one. Yeah, I have to use different OSs and stuff to do it, but it's better, trust me. Beyond that, if I'm on the open web, though, guys, if I'm on the surface web, a lot of times I'll just use Google Chrome because I ain't looking up stupid shit. So they can tell the CIA or NSA whatever the fuck they want because it's not going to make a difference. Can you go on the deep web on your phone? Next person put no. Actually, you can. You actually can go to the deep web on your phone. However, it's going to not be as secure. We'll just put it that way. Still no downloading. Make sure everything's turned off, etc. You have Tails. You have Red Tor, I think is what it's called, or Red Onion for iPhone. And, you got probably about a good 15 or 20 different kinds for Android. So, yeah, you can technically go on the deep web on your phone. All right. Did you know jet fuel can't burn steel? Yes, I know about that, Mr. or Mrs. 9/11 conspirator. I do understand that. I do understand what explosives look like as the building's coming down as well. No, I don't think a plane took down the building. Do I think a plane hit the building? Yeah, sure. It's plausible because you've seen it. But would it really burn that hot that it would drop a building that big? Not really. Especially a building way the hell over here that has nothing to do with, yeah. Anyways, that's my thought on that one. All right. Let's see here. Do you only use Tor to view the deep web? Any opinions about I2P? I did talk about I2P earlier. Yes, I only view Tor to view the deep web because I don't trust people enough to use I2P or Freenet. So you've really got to trust people to use that because if not, it's mostly downloads. So it really sucks whenever you try to download these things and it turns out to be a virus. I've seen a lot of I2P sites that are viruses. So yeah, I wouldn't use it. What security program do you use when logging into the Tor browser? I have a VPN. I have a proxy. I also have a couple other little secret things that I use that I really would rather not discuss, and Kali Linux. So that's probably about all you're going to get out of me on that one. I like onions. And way down here, it's got a smiley face. All right. Says, laugh out loud, I'm joking, I'm not a pedo. Well, alright, person with just way too many numbers and letters in their name. I actually like onion links. It doesn't make me a pedo or anything like that. There's a difference between liking the CP sites, the pedo sites, and liking .onions. The onion router is like one of the best things known to man. So I really like using it. I enjoy using it. And it doesn't make somebody a pedo if they use it. It makes you a pedo whenever you visit pedophilia sites. Like pro-pedophilia sites, videos, pictures, etc. So, yeah. Alright, so why did you receive medical marijuana and now Adderall? Basically is what happened. Like I said, I had 4,000 pounds following me years back. They were actually giving me medical marijuana for my stress, for my anxiety, as well as for pain. And it worked like so well. I didn't have to take shit else. I was healthy. I was happy. I was actually skinnier, believe it or not, because I would consume the marijuana. I wouldn't actually smoke it. I would eat it. So it made me very mellow. It helped me get to work every day. It helped me think on things a lot. Now I just have Adderall. And I don't want to take pain pills because I don't want to get addicted to them. Luckily, Adderall is something I can start and stop without any side effects beyond just wanting to sleep for 1 or 2 days. Just a little too much. But beyond that, I'm good. I haven't actually taken Adderall for probably like a week. only take it whenever I really need it. If like I'm really having an off day, I take it and I'm good. However, whenever I did medical marijuana, it also helped with the pain in my body, and that's why I had it, and that's why they give me Adderall now. And they want to give me pain pills, but I won't take them, so yeah. All right. How do you navigate the deep web without viewing illegal content? Once again, it's not hard. People want to make it so much harder than it is. On the Intel Exchange, a lot of times, you could put up a link and say, hey guys, I found this link. What is this? And everybody else will go look at it and they'll be like, dude, stay the hell away from that. That's just, child porn, whatever. Or somebody else might be like, hey dude, this is cool. It's a science site. It's a really good site. I use it often. So-and-so uses it often. And a few other people are like, yeah, sure, we use it, da-da-da. And that's how you figure it out. The next thing, too, on most search engines, it will tell you what it is. If it's just a link popping up, don't click it because chances are it's something fucking stupid. Every now and then, you will find the riddle sites that way, but there's plenty of other sites that lead to the riddle sites, so you should be okay. Just don't click nothing that don't have an explanation to it. All right. When did you first start searching the deep web? Yeah, 13. All right. Also, how much marijuana do you smoke? I don't smoke any. I consume a shitload of it whenever I can, but I don't smoke any. So technically, like Clinton, I have marijuana, but I never inhale. So there you go. All right. Next one. What do you do in your spare time on the deep web? Hang out on Intel Exchange and be a total tech nerd. I know it's not the sexiest answer, but it's the only one I got. All right. So next one. Oh, my God. All right. You have a lot of questions here. I'll try to answer them very, very quickly, but they're probably going to be short and sweet. All right. What's your favorite subject? Science. What's your favorite website on the surface web? Facebook? I don't know. I know. That's like the worst thing to say, but that's where all my fans chill. So, yeah, it was his dumbass answer, but whatever. All right, what is your favorite website on the deep web? Intel Exchange. Do you believe in aliens? Them fuckers are somewhere. What's your opinion on slavery? Like, role-playing or real slavery? Real slavery, yeah. That shit needs to stop. Role-playing? Alright, anyways. Yeah, I'm so fucking nasty. Alright, I'm a dirty old man. Fuck, I'm getting so old, I'm dirty. Okay, anyways. What is your favorite movie? Remember the 4th of November. Yes, V for Vendetta is my favorite movie. And it's probably like the worst one to admit to being my favorite movie. Seeing how the feds are always watching my fucking show. But thanks a lot for that one. What is your favorite TV show? Game of Thrones, most definitely. How long have you known about the deep web? Since I was 13. I'm really fucking old now. I'm not 40 yet, though. For all you fuckers that keep saying I'm a 40 or 50-year-old fucking man, fuck you. Shit. I'm allowed to like Rebecca Black. I'm allowed to think she's fucking cute. So fuck you. All you people call me a dirty old man. Alright. Sorry. Alright, so how long have you been on the deep web? Do you believe in the supernatural? No. Have you seen Doctor Who? Yes, I love that show. Have you ever seen Supernatural? The show? Yeah, I've seen the show. As far as something supernatural, no. Have you ever seen Forensic Files? Yes. And I'm trying to never end up on that show. On the plaintiff or defendant side. Or should I say victim or defendant side by that point. Alright. Next question. With everything you have encountered on the deep web and gone through within your life, do you personally feel that good change can happen? It could. Also, do you believe enough people are aware of the atrocities that happen? Hell no. I am from the UK and about to begin training with the Royal Marines. I'm just wondering if you feel like few of us who know can make a difference. Thanks for the video. Learned a lot from them. One person can make a difference, guy. Okay? One person can make a difference. And I'll tell you why. One person can take down a child porn ring. All right, if you take down a child porn ring, it's that many more children not getting harmed. And it can be hundreds to thousands of children in one ring. So yeah, one person can make a whole hell of a lot of difference. But it can also take one person to unify many people to bring down somebody like Peter Scully, the guy who made Daisy's Destruction and many other fucked up videos. So one person can make a very big difference. A very big difference at the end of the day. So I do believe one person can make a difference. Being an ex-Army myself, I wish you the best of luck in the Royal Marines. Stay safe out there, especially if you go to war. Be safe. I hope you come back. Because, yeah, man, there are a lot of heroes out there who don't. So just be careful. Watch your six at all times, because not everybody does. All right, next question. Do you think the CIA, FBI, etc. is trying hard enough to take down drug trafficking, CP, and rape video websites? Also, where do you do your recording? It's so dark. I do my recording on the front porch for the most part, sometimes inside. It's very rare, though, because it's normally just way too much noise. As far as do I think the CIA, FBI, etc. is trying hard enough to take down drug trafficking? Drugs in itself isn't bad. We make drugs bad. Okay, drugs in itself, if it was legalized, much like prostitution, the crime rates would go way the fuck down. The problem is, they use those drugs to keep incarcerating people. Because the more people they incarcerate, the more money comes in. And that's just how it is. A lot of judges and stuff like that get kickbacks for all the people they send to prison. It's the truth. Look it up. Now, as far as child porn and rape sites, hell no, they don't do enough. Because they're so busy focusing on the drug sites. If drugs were legal, you wouldn't have to worry about the fucking cartels. And all that head cutting off bullshit. Because what are they going to do then? If prostitution and drugs are legal, they're out of a fucking job. And they might go into CP and rape shit. But guess what? It would be easier to fucking track them down if that was all the FBI ever went after and all the CIA and NSA ever went after. All that Europol and Interpol ever went after. And then if you torture those fucks, it'd be a lot less of them. Because they'd be scared to death to get caught. I'm waiting for a president who's got some balls to do that. Be like, I don't give a fuck about Geneva Conventions. I don't care about what human rights are. I don't care about none of that. If you hurt a child, you're getting fucked. It's that simple. Your days are numbered, and everybody's going to watch you get tortured to death. You want to watch gore? There you go. Torture somebody who really deserves it. All right, next question. What is your favorite thing about life and doing YouTube? My favorite thing about life and doing YouTube. Favorite thing about doing YouTube is meeting fans and talking to you guys because, well, I think I get more excited than my fans do whenever I meet them. Whenever I get recognized somewhere, they tend to, they get really excited, but I'm like almost more excited inside. I'm like ready, like, yeah, I get recognized. Favorite thing about life. Well, is any father's favorite thing about life is children. That's my favorite thing about life. If anybody ever hurt my kids, you would realize very quickly God ain't going to help you. Jesus himself got in my way. I'd cut his fucking head off and keep coming at you if you ever hurt my kids. So that's just how it works. All right, somebody put, I like pancakes. Well, good for you. You can pancake your ass back to the comment section and put something valid in there. Ah, here it is. And God damn it, it's a guy who asked. Penis length. All right, I'm going to go back to the Chinese voice on this one. It's a so big. It's a so big that I have a 2 wives who love it. But the problem is they don't have timeshare. They share with each other, but nobody else. So that's how big it is. It's big enough to take care of 2 women and wear their asses out and still not be allowed to get any more. And it's big enough to notice whenever I'm wearing pants. There you go. It's a big, meaty motherfucker. I can't believe I just said that whenever a guy asked that. Fucking strike that shit from the Corey records, please. It's one that no man would ever like. I'm using the force right now. No man ever wants my penis. Every man will stay away from my penis. Every girl can want my penis, but they're not allowed to have my penis. There you go. I'm using the force. Okay. And watch like a bunch of guys go, I want to see your penis. And I'm going to be like, no. All right. Next one. On the About section on your channel, you mentioned that you are blind. Is this true? And if so, how do you manage doing all the editing and extensive research? It's called a screen reader. Believe it or not. I will let you check it out here in a minute. If it ever comes up. I'm trying to change it off the earpiece right now. There we go. So you want to know how it works? You want to know how it works?
Loading NVDA. Address and well. Okay. NVDA update dialog. Close. Close button.
Alright, here you go. So yeah. But that's how it works, okay? It goes up and it talks, basically.
HD. Penis length.
Say, penis length. Yeah.
Claire Hickson. On the About section on your channel, you mentioned that you are blind. Is this true? And if so, how? Alert. Q&A with Takedown. On the About section on your channel, you mentioned that you are blind. Is this true? And if so, how do you manage doing all of the editing and extensive research?
That's how. And now we're going to put it back onto the earpiece. So hold on, because this is very annoying. There we go. There we go. Okay, exit that and just use JAWS. Okay, so. Alright, so that's how I get around and do the research. The videos, there's a reason why some of them come out really screwed up, and that's because I can't actually see them, so yeah. 138, laugh out loud, probably about the haters, I guess, so yeah. Much appreciated. What made you start exploring the deep web? Curiosity? Noah is my friend's dad, and I've just kind of been on there ever since. Holy shit, it is getting fucking humid. More humid. It's like 100 and something degrees out today with the humidity, guys, so yeah. At night, it's not much cooler. Alright, have you ever paid for anything on the deep web, not beyond Bitcoins? No. What is your favorite and least favorite thing about the deep web? My favorite thing, Intel Exchange. Least favorite, all the fucked up shit that's on there. Do you think that the government can get people and arrest people on the deep web if they wanted to? Or if they tried? The government can do anything they want a lot of times because most people don't step up for shit. However, if they wanted to get all the pedophiles off, yeah, they could if they wanted. They actually have the resources for it. However, they would have to back off of all the shit that's legal that they keep taking down. And believe it or not, there's a lot of legal shit on the deep web. Only 25% of the deep web is actually illegal. That's what pisses me off, but that's, that's not the shit they normally go after, so yeah. Alright, so here we go. Is there a site on the deep web you regret visiting? The one that had all the fucking videos that were already on YouTube. And the ones that had the really stupid ass backstories that I put up and everybody's like, that's not the backstory. It's really this or that. So yeah. I don't know, fuck. Could somebody turn on the light, please, baby? Thank you. Sorry, guys. Alright, so yeah. Your channel is growing so fast, bro. Yes, it is. And thank you for noticing. I actually got... There we go. There's some light. I actually had 1,000 people join yesterday alone. And it's looking that way today, too. So it's getting pretty awesome. Alright, Takedownman. For how long have you been analyzing and pursuing the dark deep web? And do you think some of the darkest sites in the deep web should be banned for life or at least fought? I think a lot of the sites need to be fought, banned, and attacked as much as possible, but unfortunately to openly acknowledge doing it would land somebody in prison. So, yeah, that's how that works. People have to do it in private. And no, there would be no working with the police. There just really wouldn't be. If you even let the police know, you can spend anywhere from 3 years to 100 years in prison, depending on how many sites you took down. No matter how bad they were, or no matter how many people you saved, they wouldn't give a shit. All right, here we go. What do you enjoy most on the dark web, deep web, Intel Exchange? Where did you come up with the name Takedownman? I already talked about that one. How much crack does a crackhead smoke if a crackhead doesn't smoke crack? Well, if a crackhead doesn't smoke crack, they wouldn't be a crackhead in the first place. Maybe they're a crack baby, but by that point, the crack baby would grow out of the crackness, so none. What's NSA list? NSA list, whenever they talk about you getting put on a list, is if you post, say, do anything that they don't like, and it could be something simple. There's certain keywords even that if you post up, sorry guys, I know it's very nasty, but whatever. Yeah, if you even like speak against the president, you can be put on this list that the NSA has. It doesn't mean that they're going to come get you. It just means they need to watch you a little closer. And 9 times out of 10, they don't find shit. Because the people aren't actually doing anything wrong. It's just some keyword that you put on Facebook or in an email. Because, yes, they do read emails. Flagged you and put you on a list. So that's pretty much what that is. All right. What is the best software and computer adjustment to keep from getting hacked on the deep web? There is no 100% sure way to keep yourself from getting hacked on the deep web. Some people are just really fucking good at it. And if you download anything, that's just what it is. It will, yeah, you can get hacked. It's just really that simple. So, yeah. All right, so we're going to take a break real quick, then I'm going to come back on.